Hi, I'm Tilly from Tilly and the Buttons, and today I want to talk to you about how to motivate yourself to sew when your sojo is low. So by sojo, I of course mean your sewing mojo. So perhaps you usually absolutely love sewing, but for whatever reason, maybe you're tired, you're stressed, you're really busy, low energy, you just can't find the will and the energy to sit down in your sewing space and make something. Now, I know this feeling only too well at the moment. I juggle running a business with looking after two small children, one of whom is still a baby, still not sleeping that well at night. So, to be honest, at the end of the day, when they're finally in bed, I'm absolutely zonked and all I want to do is crash on the sofa. However, I also know that when I do make the effort to sit down in my sewing space, it makes me feel really good. Making things really does nurture the soul, and it just feels great just to do something that's just for yourself. So here are my 3 tips for things I've learned that motivate me to sew when my sojo is low. So my first tip is to make your sewing space look appealing. So I don't know about you, but I'm much more likely to want to spend time in a place if it looks cute. So I do think it's worth the effort to tidy up your clutter, organise your sewing tools, sort out your fabric stash, and just make your space look really inviting, so you're much more likely to want to actually sit down and spend time there. So for me, that's about adding colour. I've got my rainbow thread rack. I like pastel tools on display, cute little tool pots, nice pattern envelopes that I can see. I really do find that inspiring and motivating. For you, maybe it's about adding nice pictures or motivational quotes or plants or whatever it is that will make you want to actually sit down and spend time in that space. Tip number 2 is to keep everything to hand. So if you have got enough space at home to keep your sewing machine out on permanent display, then do, because it really does make a difference. First of all, if you can see it, you're much more likely to use it. And second of all, if it's away in a cupboard somewhere or high up on a shelf, it's just a bit of a pain, isn't it, to get it out each time. So you're less likely to actually sit down and use your machine. Now with tools, I think it's a great idea to just keep your most used tools in one pot that you can easily grab. And the same with your projects that you're working on. I like to keep each project that I'm working on in either a Ziploc bag like this or one of those resealable cellophane bags that your online clothes shopping orders come in. And then you've got your instructions, you've got your fabric, you've got your notions and everything you need for that pattern all in one place, so you don't have to be hunting around when you just want to make a little bit of progress on your project. And my third tip is to tell yourself you're just going to sew for 10 minutes. So if you try and tell yourself to sew for an hour, maybe 2 hours, when you're really busy or really tired, that can just feel a bit overwhelming and unachievable. So just don't make it a big deal. Say, I'm just going to sit down and sew for 10 minutes and see what happens. What can you do in that time? Maybe you can sew a few seams, you can add some buttonholes, cut something out, just make a little bit of progress. You'll feel really good, you'll have actually done some sewing, and chances are, once you've overcome that hurdle of getting started, you're probably not going to want to stop and you'll end up sewing for much longer and feel really good about it. So those are my 3 tips to motivate yourself to sew when your sojo is low. I'd love to know what your tips are as well, so please do leave a comment below so we can all see.